Tail of the Tape is sponsored by Corona, who invites you to find your beach. Wilder is a full 6'7", weighing in at over 226 pounds. 30 years old now, again, only started boxing at the age of 19. Arreola, 35, weighing in at 246 pounds. Let's go to our ring announcer, Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Legacy Arena here in Birmingham, Alabama, Premier Boxing Champions now features the main event, live on Fox. 12 rounds for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. The three judges ringside are David Hudson, Michael Ross, and Joel Scobie. And the referee in charge, when the bell sounds, Jack Reiss. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the navy blue trunks. His professional record, 36 wins, 31 of those coming by way of knockout against 4 losses and 1 draw. Fighting out of Riverside, California, he is the challenger, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed with the black. As a professional, he is perfect. 36 bouts, 36 victories, including 35 of those by way of KO. Fighting and representing Tuscaloosa, Alabama, he is the reigning and defending WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
Brian Kenny with Virgil Hunter and Danny Garcia. Virgil, we were talking if there's any shot for Arreola, we would figure it would be early. What's the plan here? What do you think can happen early to make Arreola a legitimate threat in this fight?
Well, it's quite simple early on. He has to show the ability to get in and get to the target. Deontay is pretty good on his back feet, and he's keeping him at range, and Chris is going to have to overcome that distance and get into the position to work where he wants to be. If he can do that, then we can go to the next phase.
I like Chris' attitude. He doesn't seem to be intimidated or scared. Seems like he's been there before. He's coming here. He wants to try to win this fight.
Back in 2009, he did challenge for the heavyweight championship. Got stopped by Vitaly Klitschko in the 10th round. By the way, I talked about the weight, and look, Arreola doesn't have the body beautiful, but he comes in at 246.2 pounds. He was 251 for that fight against Klitschko. He's been as heavy as 263, as lean as 229, so this is right in the middle. This is about what you get with Chris Arreola.
One thing to remember, Chris started out as a middleweight, I believe, in amateurs, so he's grown through the weight classes, so he does have the ability to box. We haven't seen it much because he's been the dominant fighter in the ring, size-wise and punch-wise. Tonight, that's not the case, so he's showing another dimension to his game maybe not a lot of people knew he had.
If you notice here, he's been walking to his right. That's because he's trying to stay away from Wilder's big right hand.
Wilder has poleaxing power. Again, 6'7", and you can see, you just got to respect the length.
If you notice, he just keeps walking to his right. He's like, I'll give you the left hook, but I'm not giving you that right hand. There he goes right there. Wilder can meet him there by stepping over to his left, throwing a left body shot, or throwing a jab with a left hook. Set him up with the right hand.
We're live here on Fox in Birmingham. Deontay Wilder, undefeated, heavyweight titleist, an exciting heavyweight, which is kind of new. It's been a few years.
It's a great division.
There's the right hand. Mark Breland told me a few hours ago he wanted Wilder just to box. Box, meaning just, hey, take your time, establish your jab, and use feints. He wanted him, Virgil, to feint with his right hand and get Arreola waiting for the power shot, whether or not it comes, but get him thinking about it.
Mark Breland, one of our greatest amateurs in history and also a world champion, knows boxing and knows how important it is for Deontay to stay patient because, again, Chris Arreola can punch and it can come out of nowhere, and Deontay is still in the learning phase, so he cannot overlook Chris in certain situations here.
A slow round one. We're going to stay right here in Birmingham, live on Fox. Corner Cam is sponsored by Applebee's New Wood-Fired Grilled Salads. And there's Mark Breland, former world champion with Wilder. The determined look there from Chris Arreola, his trainer Henry Ramirez. And as we heard, Arreola constantly going to his right. And Mark Breland says the check hook will be there. You also heard JD's, his voice in Wilder's corner. And also Denny Garcia saying, hey, look, if he's going to be walking there, throw that hook.
Exactly. Throw the hook or the left body shot, the left uppercut to the body. He'll walk right into it, and that'll set the right hand up. But this is a slow-paced fight, and I think this, favors Arreola. This is the pace he wants. He doesn't want to be in a fight to push him, to make him dig deep.
Obviously, Arreola, a big Dodgers fan from Los Angeles. He's got the LA on his, he had the LA cap on this morning at breakfast. He has the LA gloves on now.
Chris is a LA fan, period.
Yeah.
He's raised and born, I believe, in another state, if I'm not mistaken, but he's raised and bred and buttered in LA, so he's a diehard Blue. Now, Mark, what he was alluding to shows his experience as a coach and as a former fighter. He recognized right away what Arreola was doing. So far, Chris hasn't shown him the check hook, but Arreola is showing him a different look this round. He's coming forward a little bit more.
Wilder still has the space, though. Again, if he can get in the pocket.
He does.
Guys, I don't know what Arreola can do if Wilder can stand back and snap out that long jab.
Well, if you notice, Arreola's legs are a nice angle, but his body, his shoulders are square to Deontay, which means Deontay can bring something down the pipe.
He's
and
more
that means the middle. Yeah, he's square to him. He's not angled with his lead shoulder. And he's got his hands high, so he's open down the middle right now.
And to that point, if he throws something down the pipe, you could be sleep time. I mean, he throws a hard right hand from a long distance with a ton of leverage. There it is. That's a strong right hand.
Right down the pipe.
Deontay has a strong jab, too. I like that jab.
Yeah, that stick has developed over his last few fights, hasn't it?
Yeah, no doubt.
Where it's not just going out there as a feather duster. It's a pole. You cannot run through it.
You can hear the thumping it. Boom.
Well, if you draw it up, this is what it looks like, right? And Virgil, you've been through the wars. You've seen Sonny Liston, George Foreman, but this guy's 6'7" with that type of leverage, that type of length.
Well, he does bring a different dimension to the sport, along with power. So there's a lot of things that you have to overcome to beat Deontay. But I would give the experience edge to Arreola. But where he is at this stage in his career, it might not be enough. And Deontay is athletic enough to offset his experience. So far, it's still kind of touch and go right now.
Arreola gets Wilder back to the ropes. Wilder fires out a right hand and another, but Arreola moves his head. Oh, but he's cut. Arreola seems to be cut already, maybe from that first right hand. Yeah, Christine, there's some things you can know about Deontay Wilder. Huge Alabama fan. And again, worked at IHOP, Red Lobster, and then on the Budweiser truck. And it wasn't just like for a summer. You know, Danny, I thought when I saw it in the notes, all right, come on, man. So you worked there for 2 months. No, 6 years delivering the beer, lugging the beer out. Wasn't even the top guy on his truck.
He knows what hard work is.
Yeah, it took a while before you become the driver. First you've got to lug the beer, and Wilder did that for 6 years. So he is humble, and I believe, Virgil, take a closer look there. It looked like Arreola is cut right on the bridge of the nose.
He is, and it could have been from that right hand straight down the pipe. It did catch him in the lower part of his forehead, so I assume that's the punch that opened him up. The thing is, Wilder came back with a psychological play after Chris had his moment and went to rumbling with him and let him know that I can rumble with you, too. I don't care if I hit you clean. I want you to feel this power, even if you block it.
Well, at a certain point, Arreola is going to have to think, or certainly his corner is going to have to think, are we winning rounds? You know, we're surviving. This is good. But do we have any shot at winning this fight?
I think what he's banking on, trying to not get hit with a big shot early and try to make a rally late. He doesn't want to get hit too clean early from a big right hand from Wilder and get knocked down or get hurt. He doesn't want to play. He'd rather just, try to get him late.
No, you're right. And look, you got to do only what you can do as Arreola now tries to work it. And we see, look, Wilder didn't even like drill him with a hard right hand, and yet he was opened up.
Wilder needs to be careful right there and not play with Chris Arreola. He just missed a shot right on the button. He needs to take this serious as a champion should and not play around.
Arreola's camp told us that, hey, at any point during the night, Wilder will be vulnerable. They know that Wilder is the real deal. He's 6'7", strong, now very confident. But they say at some point in the fight, there will be a chance.
I like how Chris went to the body when he had him on the ropes. He didn't headhunt. He didn't waste no shots trying to go upstairs. He stood underneath. Low blows right there.
Well, Chris again showing his experience in hitting Wilder on the hip when Jack Reiss was behind him. If he gets enough of those, Wilder would not be moving much longer. He needs to take this fight a little bit more serious because Arreola knows what he wants to do and has to do to win.
Chopping right hand and then a hook from Wilder. And then he steps in. That's a hard right hand. He had his shoulders and his back behind that.
Just the force of the punch is moving Chris. He's blocking him and it's still moving him over a step.
Man, Deontay has some thunder in those hands.
Yes, he did.
Tell you what, guys, if he can step to you and throw like a baseball outfielder, throw into the plate, Arreola's in real trouble.
Arreola's showing a great chin.
Well, he's catching most of them, Danny. A couple got through, but just the idea that it's moving him like that gives you an idea of the kind of power that Wilder possesses.
Sometimes you can still catch the punch,
yes,
and still feel it.
Yes, sir.
Arreola trying to make some hay there on the body and the hips, as Virgil Hunter said. That's round 3. Deontay Wilder had planned on a big title defense against Alexander Povetkin. Povetkin tested positive for a banned substance. The fight was called 9 days before the bout. Wilder was already in camp in Sheffield, England. He was about to get on the plane to go to Moscow when he got the news. And he said he wondered, does the fight go on? Does it not go on? And Danny Garcia, you went through this situation one time in your career.
Yeah, I've been there before. The difference between his and mine was I found out the day before my fight. So it was like, you know, it was a tough decision for me.
With Eric Morales?
Yeah, for Eric Morales. You know, he had a few weeks to think about it. But I think he made the right decision, you know. Why fight somebody who's cheating, you know?
Look, Wilder says, I insist on this. Now he's
dancing
got Arreola to a dance and now fires off an uppercut. Got the crowd excited.
Well, it was great entertainment. But again, these are heavyweights. He needs to take it serious. I love the entertainment, but this is very serious.
I like how he threw a left hook upstairs and came back underneath with a body shot. Deontay Wilder did. That was a good shot.
It's good to see him having fun as long as he stays mentally focused and not lose it.
Wilder in every fight now insists on VADA testing, and that's the type of testing that actually catches the athlete that is cheating.
Exactly. That's a blood and urine test. A commissioner only tests for urine, so the blood is where you get them.
Jack Reiss having a word with Wilder, crowd booing with their men being scolded. Look, Wilder told us, hey, this sport is serious enough. Say the human head is not meant to be hit. You put PEDs into the bodies, it's a killer.
Exactly.
And that's what we don't want. Jack was warning Wilder about holding Chris's head down, then bringing the uppercut. But wow, Arreola again is getting more and more to the body.
Chris trying to land that overhand right.
And barely missing. He's working his way into, not into the fight so far, but he's letting him know I'm here.
Yeah, Arreola has a certain calmness about him, doesn't he, Virgil?
He does. He knows what he has to do to win the fight. And when you know that, you can stay with it.
Hard right hand, and down goes Arreola.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chris, are you okay? Absolutely. Put your hands up. Give me your gloves. That's what I'm talking about.
Only a few seconds left, but a hard Good right hand by Wilder, and Arreola is hurt. Back with another hook. Arreola barely survives the 4th round.
Great instructions by
Deep
Henry
breath.
Martinez.
You got hit at the end of a shot when you were resting with your hands up. Right, go
And in
hands
the
up.
middle of the ring, Wilder waving to his fans. He has his man hurt. Arreola, calm, sits on his stool until the round begins.
Getting all the energy.
Exactly. You need to suck in the oxygen before you come back out. Wilder can't wait to get started.
He needs to. I would just go right out and just wrap him up.
And there's a sharp jab coming out right away from Wilder, and a hook here in the opening seconds of round 5.
Good body shot.
Chris is not in good shape. He's stationary now. He can't move out of the way. His head is right there for Wilder to touch.
Chris needs to just go try to wrap him up, get close, like his corner said. Try to buy some time, try to get his legs under him, try to get, you know, his head back on his shoulders, and he can't stay on the outside like this, taking them shots.
Wilder is totally in the pocket, able to get full leverage, snapping out his shots.
If he's able to walk like he did in the first round, that would help him considerably. But Henry Martinez wanted him to stay close to Wilder to smother the work, and he hasn't done that yet. He's sitting on the outside, letting Wilder dictate and do what he wants to do. So it could just be a matter of time, probably this round. Nice work coming back by Arreola, showing his gameness.
Get off his head, let each other go.
That was a shorter right hand, Virgil, that time. That really stunned Arreola in that last round.
It was. And I've said earlier, Wilder is much more dangerous with his short right hand than he is with his long range because he's able to get the follow through. And with the type of build that he has and narrow through the hips, he's going to get full rotation on that punch and follow through.
Deontay's fighting a very disciplined fight. I like that. I like how he's staying composed. He was doing what he wants to do in there.
He's showing his experience that he's gaining fight after fight, taking his time, knowing I don't have to rush. I got you where I want to. Now all I have to do is keep you there until I drop another one on you.
We're live here in Birmingham, Alabama. Deontay Wilder, 36-0, 35 wins by knockout, and getting better and better with each fight. Again, he wanted the big fight with Alexander Povetkin. He wants fights with Tyson Fury, who won the title from Vladimir Klitschko, or if Klitschko wins that, he wants Anthony Joshua. He's calling out everybody. And Danny, I think it's honest. I know it's tough to, it's easy to say, oh, look, I want this guy, I want this guy. I think he legitimately would fight any heavyweight in the world and try to prove that he is the best.
No doubt. I think he has the tools, the power to beat them guys.
And he's fan-friendly. Look, this is fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
I asked him what did he think of Fury Klitschko when he dethroned Tyson Fury, dethroned 6'9" Vladimir Klitschko. He said, well, I took a lot of bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
But that was a tough fight to watch. This is not a tough fight to watch.
Nice body shot by Arreola. Now whether Deontay is allowing this or Chris is getting back into the fight, time to tell. But
Good
Chris has
uppercut.
to move his head.
Uppercut by Wilder. And Arreola getting pushed around. Holding on for dear life in the final seconds.
Arreola hit him about 4 times right on the hip, and the referee was standing right there and didn't see it.
That's that veteran experience. And anybody in boxing that knows Chris Arreola knows that's true. Excellent instructions from Mark Breland. The jab will do this. It'll blind Chris, it'll keep him disoriented, and it's just a matter of time before he drops it in. Mark recognizes that you don't need hooks and uppercuts and things at this time and stage in the fight. You just keep that jab working, and it will do the job.
That's a real hard stick from those huge shoulders of Deontay Wilder.
Hard, stiff jab, and it's coming from his waist.
Right, good leverage and a short hook as well.
And Chris is standing right there with his head right in the mouth of the cannon, and the gun is roaring over and over.
Over 12,000 here at the Legacy Arena to see this. You're live on Fox. And Wilder working over Chris Arreola.
Get off his head, Deontay. Get off his head.
Nice jab as he steps away. And again. You know, if he stays at that distance, that's no man's land, right?
Yeah, that's where he wants to be. He doesn't want Arreola to get close, give him a chance to land that overhand right he's looking for. Considering when Arreola got knocked down at the end of that round, I believe, round 4, he's had a pretty good 2 rounds since then. You know, he hasn't been hurt again. He's not winning the rounds, but...
You're right, and early in the 5th, it looked like opening seconds, it could be over.
Exactly.
But he has survived. All that experience and the toughness has kept him alive. Look, Mark Breland said to me earlier, he's like, look, you can't miss that nose. Chris Arreola's nose has been broken so often. It's right there. But he is making the most of what he has left at the age of 35.
From each other.
It's a tough hill to climb, but Arreola, he's given a good account of himself under the conditions and the circumstances.
And, you know, Wilder said that he adjusts to his opponents. He said, look, you know, what happens here depends a lot on Chris. Different fighters will bring out different things in me.
Exactly. Wilder tried to sneak a big shot in on Chris again, because on the outside when he jabs, Chris will hesitate for a second to regroup, and Wilder will strike out of nowhere. Right there, see how Arreola's just standing there lackadaisical, and that's when he strikes. He was a little far away that time, so Wilder didn't make the move.
Arreola taking right hands a little better his last couple rounds.
We're through 6. Mark Breland hops right in, tries to keep his man on point. Again, we are commercial free. We'll listen in. Henry Ramirez there in the corner for Chris Arreola. There's Deontay Wilder. You saw in the corner with JD's and Mark Breland. Breland was a welterweight champion, Virgil, and he was 6'2". I mean, so it's almost the same type of fight plan. He's had Deontay Wilder from his first pro fight, but it's the same plan of stay tall, snap out something nasty at a smaller man.
I agree. Mark Breland was the perfect tutor for Deontay Wilder. You could see his tutelage going through Wilder, and as Wilder develops more and more, you can see he's listening to Breland and he's learning from Breland's experience as a top amateur and a top pro.
Arreola still moving forward, trying to listen to his corner and get Wilder into the ropes. If you see an abrasion on the right arm of Wilder, he said he scraped his arm doing yard work. The commission has checked it out and said, look, it's not an open wound, it's not bleeding. They're aware of it. You hear Mark Breland there in the corner.
Do it again, do it again.
And snaps out a beautiful jab. It's funny because here in Alabama, I don't know if he can hear Mark Breland.
Stop, nobody punch.
Deontay says when he's on the road, all he can hear is his corner. But when he's in Alabama, no, he hears the chants, Deontay, Deontay. It is tougher here. He is loved here in Alabama, only 50 miles from home.
Let him go, Deontay. Pull your arm out, Chris.
We go back to Breland. We'll listen in if he has something to say.
I'm pretty sure Deontay can hear him. There's always that one special voice you hear as a fighter when you're out there in the ring. Like, I always hear my father's voice, no matter how loud it is in the building.
We all hear your father's voice when we're in the building, Danny. Angel, I'm kidding. Nice little hook there by Wilder, doing his work. And you can see, Virgil, they're trying to keep Deontay focused as well. Hey, you're winning every round. Stay focused.
He has to stay focused. He's sort of let Chris back into this fight. And he better quit playing with Chris and having fun like that. I like entertainment, but again, you have the heavyweight title, you cannot afford to play and wait like that.
Yeah, he's keeping his head up in the air, making noises.
I think Arreola just got him mad. There he goes.
Good right hand. Nice 3-punch combination by Wilder.
He should have stayed this way and got this fight over with. You just can't take that chance.
And again, hook right after the right hand. Beautifully done.
Wilder just having fun in there. I guess he feels like Arreola can't hurt him. And he feels like it's only a matter of time before he gets him out of there.
He also felt like he knew he was messing about. Get back to business. He got back to business quickly.
He got hit with a couple right hands playing around with his mouth open.
Well, the fact is Arreola can hurt him. if he catches him with the right shot.
By the way, I remember Lennox Lewis standing there and laughing at Hasim Rahman.
Yes.
Next thing you know, he's on the ground.
Overhand right.
You can't mess around.
So I'd like to see Deontay keep it busy. Tonight, that short right hand.
Shot again. As we end the round, Arreola shaken up, but still on his feet. Wobbled as he goes back to his stool. Jack Reiss with a little beef with the corner. You could say Mark Breland said, "Look, we're not doing this."
He said, "What do you want me to do?" He's pulling his head down.
And in the corner for Arreola, if you weren't able to hear it, they're saying they're thinking of stopping this fight. Now, I don't know what Jack Reiss is thinking, but he is taking a good close look at Chris Arreola as the bell rings for round 8.
And Chris is puffing up in both eyes. Pretty soon they're going to be closed, and he won't see these powerful punches coming. And Jack Reiss is getting ready to make a judgment call, and it'll probably be the right one. Even if he doesn't knock Chris out, you still have to save him from his competitiveness, his toughness, and save him from himself. He already said he was willing to die in here, and he's showing that toughness and competitiveness, and I believe him. He's giving it all tonight.
And Virgil, you're absolutely right. At a certain point, it's not just, hey, can you stand?
Exactly.
It's can you win, and how much punishment do you need to take? It's a sport.
Exactly. You just don't want to dish out to take this kind of punishment. And I kind of believe Deontay really doesn't want to hurt Chris. He wants to get him out of there, but he even mentioned the body is not meant to take this. And sometimes, you know, fighters do have compassion for each other when they know they're in complete control.
And Deontay absolutely does. I mean, he told us that when we were speaking to him yesterday, saying, look, you know, I want to put a guy out. I never want to see a guy hurt. But you got to hurt people to get this win. And he is now the blood trickles out more and starts pouring. A nice tight jab from Wilder.
Chris is not looking good right now. He's very disoriented from those jabs. Those jabs are really doing the job, snapping his head back. For our viewers, it's a whiplash effect. It nauseates you, it disorients you, and he's showing all the effects of that. His legs are just stumbling everywhere. And I would stop the fight if I was Jack Reiss. It's not my call.
You think now there's a nice three-punch combination. Jack Reiss takes a closer look. Wilder, and then to the body. And Arreola's a sitting duck.
One thing I learned about boxing, you can't feel bad for your opponent. Because if he knocks you out, he's not going to feel bad for you. So, yeah, I think got to go in there and handle his business.
Yeah, Arreola's snap is kind of gone. You see, try to throw a big overhand right. There's just not much left. Chris Arreola's face now all busted up, but he continues to move forward.
I like how Deontay circles off the ropes. He doesn't lay on the ropes too long. He goes to his right or his left when he feels like his back's against the ropes.
It's amazing, Denny. I mean, he has such distance. He steps away and you think he's out of range. Then he pops a jab right off his head.
Right there, he got on the ropes. He landed a left hook, step to his left. Then he goes back to the middle of the ring, controls the center. He's having fun in there.
Loads up with the hook. And that's why it is so interesting that, again, with Tyson Fury, who's 6'9", Vladimir Klitschko, 6'6" or 6'7". This guy's 6'7". He brings height into the ring, too. So all those advantages through the years that the Klitschko's had, negated.
Height and real power.
Fires a hook off Arreola in the final seconds of round 8. Arreola is in bad shape. We're live here in Birmingham, Alabama. Commercial free here on Fox, and it looks like, well, Ramirez having a word. No, they're going to get to work. Ramirez wanders across and talks to Jack Reiss. He's done.
Good call.
Henry Ramirez says, I want this to end, and the fight is over.
Very great call from Henry Martinez to show compassion for Chris. He has all my respect.
That was a good stoppage. You live to fight another day.
Yes, great compassion for
Chris Arreola had seen enough. Busted up by Deontay Wilder. Wilder gets his 36th knockout. He is 37-0. He did his job. Arreola did his best. Back here in Birmingham, Alabama, live here on Fox, and the Punch Stats are sponsored by Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. You don't really need the numbers for this fight. Wilder basically outlanding Arreola 3-1. You could see that. And with precision and power, and he gets the victory and remains undefeated. Let's go to Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the corner of Chris Arreola has elected to wave off the bout for your winner by technical knockout, still undefeated. and still the WBC Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay